This is all Frenchie segment here. What do we got going on this week, man?
Well, I'll let, like usual, the ticker speak for me. Give me a quick second. Like I said, I'm slow. And bada boom. What would you name? Who would you name captain for each faction? Right. So this is something that Christian brought up. Every faction is gonna have a captain, and it makes sense. In sports, you have captains. You have people who can lead the charge. Not necessarily the best players. Some teams have incredible scores, but sometimes they go on personality, and sometimes it's the best player as well. So there's a different approach to captains you can have for every team, depending what you have as a core, right? So that's what I want to discuss you about is who should that core be in every team, and what aspect should he base it on, right? So instead of going like your picks and my picks, I would like actually to go faction by faction, and we both give our picks. Are you okay with that?
Sounds good to me, buddy. Let's do it.
Okay, so let's start with corruption. Shannon Barney's faction. You got a lot of good players here, right? You got a lot of good potential, but for me, there's one and only choice, and it would be a sacrilege not to do it or not to name him as a captain. That would be Mike Kalinowski.
I completely agree with you. Which
Holy shit!
I'm shocked you said that because I'm the one who was arguing that they are the power couple, and you were like, "There are no such things, and they're not a power couple."
They're not
like Ellison or something like that, but no, absolutely Kalinowski. Shannon Barney is the queen, and yeah, he's the king. But the queen rules in this situation. But yeah, dude, obviously it has to be Kalinowski.
Yeah, it does, because I still don't think there's power couples out there, or they are. We settled this before, but
we did not settle it, dude.
we settled it because I'm right. That being said, for me, Kalinowski should still be captain because he's the original corruption guy.
Right.
He started this goddamn thing. He put everything on his shoulders. He is personally not the best player on the team anymore, because that would be Collins personally. But he's still a solid player. And also, he is probably the one who has the most experience. So for me, it's a logical train of thought for making him captain. But the power couples and stuff like that has nothing to do, my friend, because it doesn't exist.
Whatever.
All right, so
for once, dude, we agree on something.
All right, so let's go for swag. Now, my choice is a bit less obvious because Paul Liama, Lon Harris, they're good, but I think you need to find the yin to Winston's yang. And for me, Winston's very energetic. He's very goofy, but very precise at the same time. You want the precise, you want the seriousness of it, but you want someone who can really bring the other side, the level-headed side. And for me, Ace Cabrera should be the captain.
Dude, where is the camera, dude? Because my list right here says Ace should be the captain of swag. What is going on, buddy? I mean, I could almost hug you through the computer right now. I don't know what's going on.
We're in tune. We're in tune, my friend. I think we
just because he is laid back. He's serious. He's determined. Not that no one else on that team is determined, but he's serious, determined. Mm-hmm. It's he ain't messing around, dude.
And he always says the right things at the right moments, right? There's times I remember when he won, it's like, yeah, I won, but I missed this question, I'm not happy myself, right? He doesn't go like, oh, that person sucks, I'm better than them, or if he beats them, he doesn't gloat over it. And I think that's what swag kind of needs, because there's really big personalities. There's, you got Zipper now, you got Chandru, you got the people who are going to be in your face. But you need also someone to rein things back down and say, okay, we're good, but let's still check ourselves. And for me, that person to do it is Ace, because he does it for himself. So imagine what he can do for the group.
Yeah, I cannot argue that, man.
All right, the stars. The stars for me is a bit more of a question mark, because Jeff Snyder, As much as he's an amazing player, he gives up too easily. For me, a captain should not be someone who lets emotion take over. And Roxy had to play for him often in a sense that she had to kind of put him back in his place. And that's not someone you want as a captain. That's someone you want as a player. So for me, Alex Damon should be the captain.
Very interesting. Very interesting. I did not go that route. For me, the team captain should not be Baby Heel Hannah. But in all seriousness, though, in my mind, there's only one person to do it, and that's Mark Andreyko. He's very calm, cool, collected.
He's not that calm and cool. He look at his championship match. He actually gave up before Snyder. He actually was like depressed and like, they are an odd couple. They're very different, but they're kind of alike in the same way that when they're very optimistic, they're very optimistic. When they're very like in the juice, they both let go very easily. You need someone who is a champion in his own right, but also never breaks, never seems nervous. Damon, never seems nervous. He's like, okay, let's roll with the punches. Let's see what we have, right? And he has that presence of a captain, whereas Jeff Snyder and Draco are good players, but I don't think has the feeling. Like when I think about sports, right? When I think about teams, I don't see their characters actually fitting a captain like and leading. That's the thing. You want someone who leads the charge. And for me, leading the charge is a legend. If for them would be a legend as Alex Damon.
What you're saying makes sense. However, in my mind, I would still go with Andreyko over because of his experience and his time spent in the Schmodown over Damon's. And you talk about, someone to lead the charge. That's not always necessarily true in every case. In this case, I would say, even though she's the manager, Roxy is the one who leads the charge, and Mark Andreyko would be the guy who keeps everyone together. I think that would be his role more in there. That's how I visualize it.
But again, if we're taking sports, Roxy Schreier is the GM. Now that's the thing; she's leading the charge because she has no choice but to lead the charge.
She's the manager.
But if we're looking at sports aspect, right? On a team, you would have captains, you could have trainers. But right now, what the stars like, how the thing is set up is the managers choose the rosters and everything. So we can't even say they're the coach, right? The coach has nothing to say with the roster. Basically, the role right now are GMs, right? So I'm sure Roxy would love to pass the baton of responsibility to lead the charge because that's not necessarily her job. I
think she relishes in that. I think that's what makes her the proudest of what she's built is that she is the one who leads it all, and she's the mastermind. She's great at it.
She could put her energy somewhere else. That's the thing. So she doesn't have to do it. She should concentrate on other things, and that's mainly because of Jeff Snyder and Mark Andreyko. She has to do it for Mark Andreyko as well. So I don't see Mark Andreyko getting past that baton, or at least taking off the load a bit of that responsibility. Maybe Roxy loves doing that, which is cool. But again, she has a lot more things to fry. So I think you should choose someone who can really take on a bit of that responsibility. For me, Andreyko, as much as a veteran and an OG of the game, I don't think personally I see him do that. I see a lot more Damon doing that.
Fair enough, man. Fair enough. You ain't gonna change my mind, but right on.
I never expect to do, but one day my wish will be accomplished. Finstock and change. Okay, this is an interesting one here.
This shit show, shit show point two.
No. I cannot wait for them to start winning and you shutting your mouth.
If they win, I will shut my effing mouth about them and his horrendous, mind-boggling draft. I don't understand what the hell is going on.
But again, I'm not saying they're going to win the whole thing. But what I'm saying is it's going to work a lot more in their favor. It's going to walk.
Enough to prove me wrong. Like, he needs to do good enough to prove me wrong.
Which I think is not that much of a hard stretch. Like, again, my first pick was the Den, because the question was last week, who did the best draft? But since I knew already, because your big mouth told me the day before by accident, and you're too slow to delete your Facebook messages, so I actually saw your answer. I decided to go with something that, for me, the best strategy, something that's so different. And I really think that they're going to do something interesting, because there's a lot of gaps, and that's what people are not thinking, right? There was a lot of gaps when it came to the interviews and the analytics done by certain people. We can only do so much at a certain time, and that's the thing that's a bit double-edged sword with the fan shows taking a bit of charge on profiling certain people. We only profile the people who we can have contact with, right? And there's a lot of people like Amaru. He was left and right trying to find people, trying to expand the word, right? And it worked for him, definitely. But there's some that, didn't get approached, or did not have time to approach the interview shows. So they were not on no one's radar, but they had a time to at least talk to managers, or one manager that would be Finstock, because he took the time to contact everyone. So there's holes here and there that, they might be amazing players, but they just didn't have the chance to get covered. So because of that, I think Finstock found those people. Maybe not all of them. He said it himself. John Rokas himself. There's 3 people they're targeting for to break the game, right? Plus with John Roca, JT, and Greg the Barbarian. So right now they're looking for 6 players, top main players, and 3 of them are people that people got overlooked but deserved a shot. So I really think it's going to work. That being said, John Roca should be the goddamn captain, without a doubt.
I agree with you on that one as well, sir. Not only because he's pretty much the only person I think is qualified. Not that Barbarian's not, but I don't think he has the experience yet. When you stack experience up against Roca and Barbarian are the only 2 that I would feel comfortable in that position. On Finstock Exchange, it's got to be Roca.
It's got to be Roca. If not, it's round 4 draft all over again. Roca's ego is going to get back into the into Finstock's face. Now the quirky Mercs. Look, Bibiani, I love the guy, but not a captain. He's a mastermind of the game, but he is a big personality that needs his ego to be flattened a certain way. And for me, a captain, a good captain anyways, that is not just based on accolades, but based on, who can rally people around him. For me, it's not Bibiani. And as much as I love Brendan Meyer, he's really good. And I think he's a future captain, but we would give it more to because of his accolades. I actually take someone else who I think naturally is probably the most loved person of anywhere in Schmodown and could really rally people. Even though she's not the best player, she has the best personality that you can't say anything wrong against Perry Nemiroff.
Yes, same thing, dude. Same one on my list. And for this one, she is the obvious choice for Working Works. For everything you just said, dude, she's just so great. How could you not take advice or guidance from her and not take it seriously? She's so good, man. And I don't even mean as a player. I'm just talking as a human being, as a person, the way she presents herself, very well organized, hard worker. It's great, man. It's great.
Just talk about Roca. I completely agree. But yeah, no, Nemiroff, like, again, her story is amazing. She was a baby face of the year, comeback player in a sense. Also, no one gave her a shot, not even herself. She didn't believe in herself. And then when she started winning, she's like, oh my God, I can do this, right? But the love she has for the game, even though she doesn't also believe in herself, is amazing. But she really portrays the best example of what Quirky Mercs is. And that's what captain should be. The kid is the next best person, but for her, she embodies Quirky Mercs, and you want somebody that embodies the philosophy of that team. They're not necessarily heavy hitters, but they're people that are never going to give up, and they're always cool to hang around with. And for me, that's Nemiroff 145%.
Yep, agreed.
Now, next one, and this is going to be also an interesting one to try to demystify which one would be the best. And for me, that's the Den. Okay, this is interesting. You got big personality like Paul Preston, cocky bastard, and extraordinaire Goddard. You got, Duralde, you got Saul, Mark Riley. I still think I'm going to make two choices. For me, it depends on the philosophy. If you want to go around experience, knowledge, and just being there since day one, Mark Riley. If you want to go with someone who is so smart and so intelligent, and they probably can digest the game faster than anyone else, you actually do a surprise move and you do Thomas Harper.
That's interesting. I again going with I'm big on the experience. I'm going with Mark Riley as team captain for the Den. To me, that one just makes sense. I mean, you know how damn impressed I am with Thomas Harper, dude.
Yeah.
But again, I highly value the experience because it's nothing to take away from the rookies or new people, but we don't have anything to base anything off of, and that's the only hesitation.
I'm going as his actual experience, in a sense, like his life experience. Okay. What he does as a background. He's an attorney, like a military attorney, right? That's the type of person that can take charge, no matter what the subject is. He can take charge.
Wait a minute. Thomas Harper is a military attorney.
If I'm not mistaken, he's a military man, and I think he's an attorney.
Like Tom Cruise style and shit.
Yeah. So if I'm not mistaken,
handle the truth.
Yeah. So like that kind of like background for me screams as captain. So we're gonna go fast because we don't want to be too late, and we got 2 factions left. So let's keep it short. The usual suspects. I honestly think that it was between either Irwin and Drew McQueenie. McQueenie has a pass with Sam Levine. He's starting to get his character down. He definitely has his knowledge down. Just have to find the right partner. So for me, Drew McQueenie is the obvious choice for the captain.
Maybe it's because I like sassy broads and because she's the only chick with red hair that I really dig. But I think Stacey Howard, man, that's who I got to go for.
If McQueenie wasn't there, definitely. But you got for freaking McQueenie. It's freaking McQueenie.
Yeah, but he didn't play last year.
And so did Mara, right? And they're still rooting for Mara.
Yeah, but I would be a team captain. You did so, and that argument means shit to me.
Oh, all right.
This one I think we're gonna very much be different on.
Oh, you never know. I'm going to go straight to the point. For me, the dungeon, Ben Bateman.
No. It has to be Molly Damon. Yes, it has to be Molly Damon. I don't think Robert Parker is the right fit for it. You got, dude. It can't be Bateman, dude. He has too big of a fucking ego. We don't need exchange shit show happen. Hold on. Happening in the dungeon.
We got to wrap it up. So
Merle is another huge personality, big ego. He's out for revenge. We need a team captain who is going to be able to not have drama. And I see if one of those two, being Merle or Bateman, are team captains, dude, I think that there's going to be some tension. I think there's going to be some future shit that goes down. We do not need that here.
I would agree if we would have the same problem as Finstock, which you have like 4 or 5 egos at the same time. Right now, you look at the dungeon, the only other ego that there is Jericho, and he refuses right now to play for Kaiser, and even then, I don't think it would clash with Bateman. But Bateman is the only ego, and he's a directing ego. He has an ego because he knows where he's going. He doesn't have an ego just because he has an ego. He's a papa's ass. He's a papa's ass sometimes, and I love it about him. But he's the only ego on there, and he's a useful ego. He's a captain type of ego. Dude, so for me, Ben Bateman.
I love Ben Bateman, dude. I've said for like 3 years that I want him to be the first ever player manager in the history of Schmodown. I still want that next season. Give it to us. But I'm just, dude, his ego is not a good kind of ego. He wins, yes, but dude, I think it's a toxic kind of ego that sours people around him if he's given too much power with that to wield that ego. And I think that's a part of what happened in Finstock Exchange. Molly Damon is the choice, dude.
It's a part, but that's the part that's missing. That's there's other egos trying to control. Too many chefs crashes the fucking kitchen. Now you got only one chef in the kitchen, and he knows where he's going. And for me, Bateman is the only choice. And you're wrong. And it doesn't matter what I say. It doesn't matter what you say. It's gonna only matter what Mr. Winston says. It probably got Winston.
You want to hear something funny? The mic wasn't on that whole time.
No way.
Yeah, for real.
Oh, wow.
So smooth.